Hello, everybody. It is happy times here. It's a little bit of a vacation away from home, but it still feels like you really haven't gone anywhere. But if you like my new set here, we're in the middle of Clear Lake, and it is a beautiful, beautiful sunny day. So I wanted to ask all of you, it's a halfway point through summer, and normally we're doing whatever we do with friends and family. But of course, this year is much different. So it's the halfway point checkup, seeing how everybody's doing. And it's also, we're well into almost the 8 months of 2020. Is this going to be the year that we would like to forget? Or maybe it'll be the year we'll always remember. So let's bring in all of our lovely ladies. Come on. Hello, hello. It's been a long time for some of the women that I've asked to come back, so hopefully they can share some of their thoughts and feelings about how it's all been for them. And maybe we'll all learn something from each other too. All right, since I'm on remote, I'm not seeing everybody on my Zoom chat. I might ask Graham for some help.
I can see everybody but you, Tracy. Oh, there you are.
Oh, well, I see Susie now. Okay, so
my lighting is terrible. I need to fix that.
Well, so good to see you, but I can't see everybody else. Oh, okay. So now I got it. So whoever is talking, I can see. Yes. So we're kind of doing a little vacay. So this is my new set. Oh, I see Nanette. Hi, Nanette. Good to see you. So we're kind of in we're in the middle of bush country here in Clear Lake, but it's a brand new little development called the Bear's Den, and it's lovely. I mean, these are super modern and everything like that. The guys have gone golfing, so I've got to have a little free time to do this. I want to see everybody. Who else is here? Hello, Nanette, you might be muted.
I'm here. It's Robyn.
Hey, Robyn, good to see you. Yes, hey. So I guess you've been busy and everything like that, huh? I mean, with all the new programs and everything, it's been wonderful and it's been great. I mean, your programs and everything like that are going to be so helpful down in the future. But I want to talk about you. It's halfway point, halfway through summer. Oh, and Rashonda, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
I'm okay. probably a little bit better than last time we spoke.
Well, that's good. That's good. Now, has your business sort of opened up and sort of, developed your own plan?
Yeah, I mean, we're in an interesting position. So for those of you that don't know, we have a swim school. Pools weren't supposed to open until phase 2, and then they were given the green light for they weren't supposed to open until phase 4, but they were given the green light for phase 2. That was very exciting, except that we depend on city pools to open. So as you know, they didn't open until July 20th, and we're generally don't teach in city pools in the summer anyway. So we just worked our summer program. So we teach in people's backyard pools, and we teach at lakes and all over in the summer. So we just need the weather to stay warm for as long as possible because I'm not sure what we have in store for fall. So summer is good and it's okay right now. We're busy, we're outside, and it's going well, but not sure what will be in store next month. So yeah, that's us. Tracy, you're on mute. We can't hear you.
Yeah. We're on a little mini vacation up at Clear Lake, so I'm on my phone, and so I apologize everyone for my lack of technology. I have my right-hand guy Graham back in Winnipeg sending me notes and texts on how to do this. So just keep on talking. I can finally see everybody here. And Cynthia, thank you for joining.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me back.
Yes. So how have you been, girl?
Okay is probably a really good word right now. Yeah. So yeah, you know what? You get through it. You do what you have to do, and we focus and we find lots of things to keep us busy. So that's awesome. And yeah, and
Now,
we
have you,
go ahead.
no, sorry, I just wanted to let the ladies know where you are right now.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm still currently in Medellin, Colombia, although my background is Kuala Lumpur, which is where I'm technically supposed to be right now. But yeah, I'm planning in September, if flights resume, to move to London, England for in the UK and Spain for a while, at least through the fall, but we'll wait and see. Yeah.
Now, does that scare you at all, Cynthia, the travel, or?
The travel scares me more than anything else, but after 6 months here in Colombia and starting up my business and launching everything, creating partnerships that I've been working on, it's probably the least scariest thing. But obviously, I understand the risks that are out there, and I'm not telling the airlines to open up. It's when they deal with it, and right now that's still very open-ended and may not happen, because even part of me has resigned that I will spend through the Christmas holidays here in Colombia potentially, because of the severity of the virus at this point. So yeah, it's part of the life of a digital nomad, and we try and learn to roll with it as best we can.
Oh, well, you know what? You always have a home here, okay? So, but we'll get back to you.
Thank
I
you.
want to say hi
Yeah.
to Judy Ann. It's been a while.
It has.
Hi. Yes, and I've seen pictures on Instagram. Like you were thinking this area, I think, for a while.
Yeah, I
Were you
was there not too long ago, and yeah, I've just been, with current circumstances that like I'm supposed to be in like Zion National Park right now doing some trails, but now that that's not an option, we decided, you know what, we have a beautiful province that we live in. Why not spend some time to explore? So we've just been booking campsites and cabins and yurts and anything possible, doing day trips, doing some kayaking, just really exploring what Manitoba has to offer. It's been beautiful. I've really been enjoying the summer.
And enjoying being newlyweds too, right?
Yeah, it is definitely quite the experience being, like not only just getting newly married and then within 3 weeks we're in mandated quarantine and spending every waking moment together. Like literally this door is what separates me. Like I kind of take over the office and my husband does his work in the living room, but that's all that we have in terms of like separation for this little while. But you definitely learn a lot about married life this way.
Yeah, like you just jump right in it. And yeah, I mean, speaking of that in relationships too, Judy Ann, I mean, what have you learned and about your husband too in this time period?
We've learned a lot about communication for sure. Like even for like little things, like, that it's okay to need space. And, if something's bothering you, you do have to speak up, especially in this kind of situation, because like you do see that person all the time. We were actually joking the other day, like we went kayaking and it was our first time kayaking together in one kayak. And I think it was like Tall Pine Lodges made a post saying that like canoes and kayaks are the best marriage counselors, because you really learn, like you got to work together. Like I think like 20 minutes in, we're like bickering in the kayak, but we're like, no, we got to get through this. We have a whole half day of this. So we learned a lot about working together and communicating.
Oh, wow. I mean, yeah, in some ways, I guess, maybe this is a good thing, right? And, it's always, I guess, trying to find the positives through all the negatives. I just want to move around. I think Primrose is here. Hi, Primrose.
Hello.
Hello.
Long time no talk.
Yes, I know. And I can't see you, but I'll sure probably get a text saying what I can do. But You have to maybe swipe again. Yes. Okay, now I do it. Yeah. Stop laughing at me, Robyn. You're muted. Okay.
Tracy, yeah, you can change your view. Yeah, you can
Oh,
change your view.
thank you,
Tracy, up in the
Susie.
upper right-hand corner.
Thank you,
If your view
Susie.
switches that
Oh
way.
my goodness.
You're
I was just
welcome.
like, oh God,
In case
this is so
anybody else
weird.
needed that tip too.
Yeah, I don't know. You can't teach it. No, well, no. Sometimes you can teach an old dog new tricks. Okay, I am learning. I am learning. So how have you been, Primrose?
I have been surprisingly busy.
Oh, great.
I was busy before from working at the same time plus teaching my kids.
Mhm.
And I wasn't doing anything creative because I was just so full of that. And then once the kids were finished school and my parents were willing to take them again, I was able to work more. And a couple of opportunities came up, and I starting to write again. And
Yay.
I just am very excited about it, but it's not something I can really talk about yet. I could talk a little bit
Okay.
about it, but
Mhm.
I have a possible book coming out, but we'll see. Fingers
Okay.
crossed.
And it would have anything to do with the situation we're living in right now?
100%. It'll be a YA book, and it'll take place during the pandemic. So
Oh,
it's exciting. A lot of
oh
it
my
came out
goodness.
of what it came out of was that my oldest son, he's 12 years old, and actually for the past year, he's been in grade 7. He's just stopped reading. And that made me really sad, especially during the pandemic when this was the perfect time to read. But he kept saying that he couldn't find anything that was interesting because everything out there was dystopian or horror or fantasy. And those were things that weren't interesting to him. And he wanted to see characters that reflected who he was. So I wanted to
Oh.
write something where he would see himself, because there's
Mhm.
really nothing out there, just nothing out there at all for young people, persons of color,
Mhm.
and I wanted to write about that experience.
Oh, wow. Well, you got everybody here on the call saying, we can't wait, we can't wait. So I don't know, maybe you're gonna have to do a reading for us, okay?
Oh, I hope so.
Possibly, and yeah, we would love that. I mean, hey, it's a great way for a teaser, right? Or you might
Oh,
get
yeah,
a lot
absolutely.
more ideas. Yeah, more suggestions, right? No, well, as long as it has a happy ending, okay?
Yes, it will. I
Because
promise.
we okay, because we all need happy endings. All right, so we will get back to you soon. Nanette. Hello, Nanette. Hi. Oh, she says I'm on.
Hi.
I promise you. Yeah, I promise you. It's been a long time. Oh my goodness. Yes.
It's been a while.
Yeah. And so, are you handling the multitasking and having to go everywhere but nowhere?
It's yes and no. I really thrive on routine. I think many people do, and I think that with the lockdown and summer happening and all of the stuff that seems to be thrown at us at the same time,
Yeah.
routine has pretty much gone out the window for me. I've been trying very hard to get back to, and especially it's already bad enough on, for regular summers, and that with the kids being home. My husband's a college instructor, he's at home, and I love the fact that we can all be together, and
Mhm.
every summer this is a wonderful thing that we could do. Unfortunately, routine's gone, and so time management is a little bit more challenging. And yeah, multitasking is there is really no such thing, because your brain has to readjust to the new situation and back and forth. It's just the whole multitasking thing just doesn't really work for me. Something always falls, something always drops. So I try to, that's a new thing for me, is to try to stick to one thing and do that well. Try to get the routine back. It's a challenge, but it's fun. It's life, and you got to embrace the time that my son just turned 18. He graduated.
Oh,
And
Congratulations.
thank you. But it's, it just reminds me of how time goes so quickly. And, all of us mamas are very cognizant of the fact that our babies are growing up way too fast for us to catch up. And so I embrace that, even through the challenges, the unexpected appointments that come up, the things that take me away from this wonderful chat that I look forward to every Tuesday. I still go, you know what, I'm mom first, and I need to be with my babies, and everything drops because I embrace now. Every single time I'm reminded of my 18-year-old, I go, okay, let's go and do stuff. Let's do things together. All other stuff can wait.
Yeah. No. So that in essence, you created a routine.
Pardon me?
In a way, in a loose way. I mean, you know your priorities, and that's the beginning of routine. And I want to see if Dr. Cheryl can sit at her desk for 2 minutes to say hi. Hello, Cheryl. You might have to unmute yourself.
Okay. Is that better?
Yes, we've got audio now. Yeah. You and me both. Oh my goodness. And now, are you on your phone?
I'm on my phone because I'm at my research office and I have my research computer, but my headphones and my microphone is not working on it. So that's why I've joined using my iPhone. So can you hear me and see me?
Yes. Yes. Now, you know what? You just need to put your phone horizontal.
This way?
There you go. That way. Yes. Hey, I even taught you something now, Cheryl. Hey.
I learn from you and your colleagues every day. Sure that I wanted to show my video because I'm obviously, not my best, but I do want to show off the first time in my life I've ever had a ponytail. And
it looks adorable.
When you're 70 years old, there's not much time I'm going to be 70 in a month or two, So I said, if I don't grow a ponytail now, because I haven't been able to go to the hairdresser, when will I be able to? So this is the result. It's not staying, but I'll keep it as long as I can stand it.
Well, that's something to share and be proud of in all of this. And
I am.
Yeah, you know what? I was a little concerned because when you told me, we had email conversation, and you were saying that you still are very upset, for the people obviously that are affected by COVID. And what are your thoughts and feelings on how we've been doing and how we have been behaving? I mean, you as a geneticist and as a researcher, and how fast are we going to get that vaccine?
Oh, first of all, I'm certainly no specialist in infectious diseases or med micro. I follow it the same as you. I'm realistic in knowing that, the timeline, it's not going to be tomorrow. But when you think of all the investments that has been done in COVID research, as a researcher, I can't apply for any other research grants unless it's directly related to COVID. So from a research point of view, it's not easy being a medical researcher today. And, we certainly do our research and have put applications related to COVID. And they are continuing to take research applications for grants on areas not related to COVID. But I'm being realistic that really all funding agencies, universities, you name it, all the energy is going towards developing a vaccine and understanding more about, how COVID works, how you gain immunity, what is herd immunity. So I follow that as a consumer as much as a professional. But certainly as a researcher and working, right now I'm at the university, I'm at my research office. I'm actually packing because I'm moving my research office to another spot on the floor. So these are things that I always have time to do because, a lot of the things are on hold. But I can see some of the younger researchers with whom I work. I mean, they're working very hard. I mean, they're trying, and I listen to your colleagues on the line. people who are professionals are trying to multitask and do it all during this very, very difficult time. And I think our expectations of ourselves are much too high, that everybody has to, step back and do the best we can. But there's no way productivity, can stay the same if you're trying to do 3 full-time jobs. And I have several people within my lab who work for me, and very conscious about, making sure that their jobs are secure, that we continue to work, in our research that's on genetic disorders and continue our clinical trials. And we're doing that. In fact, people are working very, very hard. But I know that it's taking a toll emotionally on many people, and people remain very upset. And to be perfectly honest, there really isn't an end in sight. Yes, I do think there will be a vaccine in 1 to 1.5 years, and I know this phase in our lives will pass. For myself, I don't have much time, right? I'm in the pressure of time. But for people who are much younger than me and living through this, it will get better. Take care of ourselves, do the best you can at our jobs, and it will get better. So I spent a lot of time trying to encourage people, particularly the young researchers with whom I work. This can't be easy. It absolutely can't be easy. And for graduate students and university students and college students, this is not an easy time to transfer and to really redo how we live. So for myself personally, I'm handling the stress, because there are many people who really depend on me to hold it together. And when I have a bad day, I certainly do have a cry here and there, but most of the time I hold it together and know that, we're doing well in Manitoba. It'll pass. We'll be okay, and we have to take care of ourselves. The one thing that has saved me on a personal level is that on June 21st, when it was announced that we didn't have to self-quarantine or isolate when we returned from Western provinces, what do you think the first thing I did? Because this was just horrendous for me. I got on a plane and went to see my grandchildren, and this is, it has renewed me. I spent 12 days in Calgary in a bubble because, my son and daughter-in-law and the little grandkids are very careful. And I came home and I'm still fine. While I was there, WestJet decided that they didn't have to physically distance on their plane anymore. So I was just about freaking out. But
Okay.
I've been now for more than 2 weeks and I'm still fine.
Okay, keep talking. My husband is knocking at the door.
So I don't know who's listening and who's cared to listen, but whoever.
It's holidays.
I
There's a little bit of brevity. Okay, yes. Oh, and I got a new cucumber. That's what happens when you pack the cucumber in ice for 3 hours. Oh, I'm at least making Robyn laugh. Come on, Susie. Oh, so there might be a little bit of noise in the background. That's my husband. Smelling like they all smell of bug spray. But so how are you doing, Susie?
Did you say you're at Clear Lake?
Pardon?
Did you say you're at Clear Lake?
Yes. But self-isolating.
We have a cottage nearby.
Oh, really? So we're in just outside of Onanol, just before the park, in this new development called the Bear's Den. So they're brand new units. There's construction outside, so Susie can relate to that. But it's all good. Yeah. It's just creep by. But it's weird. Like I was saying before all of this, we're on holidays, but it's like, well, but it still feels weird. It still is not the same. But anyways, Cheryl, I'm glad that you are healthy and safe, and that's the best thing in remedy is to see your family and loved ones. And like everything is changing, and how we live and how we do business, and yeah, maybe that's the next phase. But
Yeah.
that's not my husband. So they're. But anyways, how are you doing, Susie? Susie, how are you doing? I still love J-Lo's house.
Can you hear me now? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
My Wi-Fi keeps booting me off, so sorry about that. But no, we're good. We're we're trying to keep the kids busy, trying to keep them outside, trying to keep them active, and trying to gear up for what might be school coming. We're still not sure what that's going to look like. So just trying to take it day by day, really.
I know, and you've been doing so well, I mean, with everything. But what are your thoughts, Susie? I guess I've heard that the summer school students are kind of being like the guinea pigs for how school will look like. I mean, so no water fountains, spots where you got to stand. What do you think?
My kids go to a smaller school, so that makes me a little bit less nervous. It really just kind of depends on what happens in these next few weeks. And, we've seen an uptick of cases locally, so I don't know what that's going to mean for any reopening plans or going back to school plans. But I'm just trying to keep up with the information as it comes out of the provincial health office and just kind of see what's happening basically on a daily basis. We've told the kids that we don't know what's going to happen for sure, even though, these changes are being rolled out and we're trying to prep for them. We are trying to drive home the idea that things can change on a dime, basically. Please don't get too attached to the idea of going back to school if it doesn't happen for whatever reason. And just trying to manage their expectations, I guess, and my own,
No, I know. It's been, I mean, Nanette has said it, and, and even Primrose too with her new book. I'm going to ask now Robyn, who has been sitting there laughing, giggling, smiling, nodding to all of these things, and Dr. Cheryl too, who's, I mean, she's always such an incredible speaker. Cheryl, you are. You very succinctly kind of put everything into perspective, not only for yourself personally, but you want to set an example for the younger people. So Robyn, all of these things, okay, and wanting to set examples for our kids, for our colleagues. It's been weird, but yeah, like your thought process is so different now. There's so much to think about.
Truth be told, today is not the easiest day for me, so I'm just giving you a heads up, right? And let's be real, and when we're having tough days, it's okay to actually say that, right? I think, I think you all know, I think I came on not long after my brother took his.
Yes.
And I think when Cheryl said June 21st, I was like, oh, because that was the day, right? That's the day I moved to Calgary to be with my niece. So the last couple of weeks, I was going to move to Calgary so I could be closer to my niece, and my work permit, first work permit in Canada, it tells me I have to live in a particular place. So my work permit says I have to live in Winnipeg. So even if I want to move, I can't if I want to stay in the country. So I'm trying to sort that, but I've given up my apartment. So I'm in the middle of moving, trying to find another apartment. And truth be told, everyone's chatting about how to juggle family, but I'm a single person, and how the hell do you find a date right now? You're like, oh, do I meet someone? Don't I? If I meet them and I have a really nice time virtually, do I actually trust that I want to go and be close? And then if I've social distant, do I actually kiss them? Like, and you know, I'm doing it in a funny way, but I know there's I've been chatting to a bunch of friends lately who live on their own and want to start dating. Like, do I, don't I? And truth be told, how the hell do I find cute girls when I'm like cooped up in my apartment? So I'm going to put a note out. I'm funny, I'm cute. If you have any cute friends that are single, get them my way. You know, it's funny, but the reality is, I think, you know, for a couple of months, people were like, yeah, I can do this. And there was like stress, but it was still a novelty. And now we are looking at, you know, the reality is this is a year or two, probably. You know, best case scenario, maybe a year. And people are starting to have that fatigue. They're starting to go, I can cope, but I don't know when it's going to stop. And I think that's the piece. Someone, and I may have said this before, someone described it like you got pregnant, but you're not sure how long you're going to be pregnant or when that baby's coming. It might be 6 months, it might be 9, it might be 20. Like, how do I've never been pregnant, so I don't know. But it's that piece of uncertainty. And I think that's one of the things about how do we support people to deal with the uncertainty? Because I know, I think it was Nanette, you were talking about, I like routine, I like structure, and we don't have the capacity to have that piece of the future that says, well, in 6 months I can have my regular life back. And that's the unsettling piece. So I think for me, it is really allowing people just to be in that space of some days I'm going to have a shit day. Some days I'm going to cry. And I mean, truth be told, Charlotte's packing up my kitchen right now because I had a meltdown. I was like, I can't do it. And Charlotte went, I'll do it. Go and be on cue. Okay. But it's that place about, like, showing compassion and empathy to others, but showing compassion and empathy to ourselves, because, like, we are hard. And I think Cheryl was saying before, we get hard on ourselves. Oh, we should be taking care of the kids and working and keeping the house clean. And now we've got summer, and how do we do that? And I think there's a place where let's just breathe and let's allow ourselves to be real in how it feels in that moment. Not that you spend the next 6 months going, but just being real in the moment. And because if we try and stop it, like, it pulls up, and then we just do what I did before. And you know, I think it's that sometimes we show compassion and empathy to others, and we go, oh, they've got all this to deal with, and then we're like, oh, but we can't do that for ourselves. And so my request is that we actually be passionately curious with others and really want to know, but actually for ourselves. Like, be passionately curious about how we are, and like, if we can get some people in our life that are prepared to do that back and forth with us, we have a shot at staying sane, because we also know isolation is one of those things that leads to, like, you know, deprivation studies show people were like, ooh, I can't deal with this. So it's thinking, how do we get through that? And then you throw, everyone's talking about Zoom fatigue. Oh, I've been on Zoom all day, and we do all our training on Zoom and have for years. And now people are like, how do you do that? And it's like, well, you have to look at what you do to take care of yourself between those times as well. I see you got me talking. Hey,
Well, see, but talking is
I'm cute,
talking.
adorable. I'm looking for a cute femi girl. Anyone know any?
You're naughty. No, you know, and it is, I think, very refreshing for all of us. One thing, a very admirable trait, I believe, Robyn, you have is being honest and complete with yourself and with others. And, you know, that is, I think, in a lot of ways, really hard for a lot of us because, you know, and that's the reason why we make ourselves so busy, right? So we don't have to think about how we really feel. And then we're always so worried about how the other person is going to feel. But in the meantime, it's creating this whole kind of cesspool of stress and toxicity within ourselves that eventually, right, something bad is going to happen. And I want to ask you, Robyn, so now, like you talked about this fatigue and you deal with people, you know, with mental illness and, you know, your whole business is about mental wellness. That human touch, that being like with humans is so important, right? I know that there's the whole isolation during the COVID-19 and wearing masks and totally, you know, I totally get it, but it's that being together, right? That we need and that we crave.
I think the reality is we're going to have to get the best we can get at the moment. And I'm not going to advertise what, but there may be a drink commercial at the moment that says it's not the best, but it's the best we've got right now. And I think I love that because the reality is, yeah, it would be great. That human touch is super, super important for most people. And yeah, we're not going to be able to have it at the moment. Like, yes, we are. If we're in a bubble with people, we have so much. But the place is, how do we get through? Given it's the best we can do at the moment, and I think that's the piece. Sometimes we're after this ultimate, this holy grail of I want to be able to run and hug everyone. And the reality is we can't. So it's that place about how do we get the best we can get until it can be different. And that's the piece. So truth be told, I'm lucky. I have like a fur ball that just follows me around, my dog. I have a really good pillow in my bed that feels like someone, you know. But it's those things, and I know I get to the place for me. I don't know if other people get it, but I'm like, I want to talk to someone. I'll call or FaceTime them, and they'll get on there, and I'll be like, no, I don't. Like, and it's not them. It's just that I was craving something, and I thought it was this, and then I got it, and it wasn't quite that, and I was like, oh. And I'm real enough, you've worked that out, to go, yeah, actually, I don't want to talk to you right now. People go, okay, Rob, no worries. But I think it's the place that, like, and the people that I talk to, and truth be told, I've had 4 calls in the last 2 weeks who people were calling going, I'm going to kill myself right now. And I'm like, oh, can we have a chat first? Right? Like, sure. And I'm like, I just want to chat. And, you know, like, I can't stop you. I don't know exactly where you are, so I can't get the police there. So, hey, let's have a chat. They're all still alive, but it was, let's just have a chat in that moment with whatever comes up. And I think that's the place, because, yeah, it'd be awesome if we could have that holy grail, and that's not around right now. So I think they're the conversations I have with people. Like when people call and say, I'm going to kill myself right now. I'm like, can we just have a chat? Like, what's happening for you? You know, let's just talk. Like the other night, I don't know, I spent 2 hours chatting with someone and they ended up going to a crisis centre, and we chatted the whole way there, and as they entered, and maybe that's as good as it gets for them right at this moment. And so
Yeah.
if we can do that for each other, but ourselves too, right? And just feel. What you see with me is what you get, whether I'm on here, whether I'm in person. And I think sometimes we think we have to have a facade, and when we're actually real, that's when we get those cool connections, and that's when we find out who the other people are in our lives too. Are they people that are worth having, or do we have them because someone said they were important to have in our lives?
Wow, you are, wow. I just want to, we'll get back to you, you know, Robyn, but you know what, you are one of a kind, you know, just believe in that. Quickly, Rashonda, you wanted to, if you could share what you were talking about with your daughter. Was it your daughter? I just saw a quick thing. Yeah.
For it's her like first friend and friend since they were little, and she asked me a couple days ago, her friend's dad is getting remarried on August 9th, and we're all going to the wedding, and she asked if it would be okay if she hugged her friend.
Aww.
And I'm not sure that that's okay.
No.
So she's now she's asked every day if she thinks that we can. She wants to be there for her friend.
Yeah. I don't yet. I mean, these are all like such hard decisions. No one wrote the book on what to say or what to do on this, and everybody is different. And we talked about it, you know, that we all just have to respect everybody's feelings and decisions. So I don't know. Does anybody have any words of wisdom for Rashonda? But I think, you know, you're not the only one in this. I'm sure there's an awful lot of other parents that feel
and
the
I
same
have
way.
some friends who have allowed their kids to start doing that. And they're like, I don't know what you're setting them up for when you let them do a little bit of that. Right? Because then I think it just creeps, like we're still having outdoor play dates. We're not, our family has no sleepovers yet. Like, right, each family has their own rules, right?
I know.
I don't know. I just don't, like, right, every time you give a little bit, where does that put this, like, community and society when we all keep giving and giving, and then where are our numbers going to be? What are we, you know, as Cheryl said, we're in this for at least another year and a half. So where are we at if we loosen the reins?
Yeah.
That's
so I think that, you know, each family has sort of a bubble that they've been keeping, right? If you've been getting into contact with family members or friends and following the guidelines from Dr. Brent Ruskin, and if the kids are wearing masks, and, you know, I think that it would be wise to either check with the website or to call Health Links, and seriously, if it's affecting your child's mental health, to ask the question, who are we allowed to touch in our bubble? And I think, you know, that depends on what your family's rules are and what kind of immunocompromised people you might have in that bubble. But I think, you know, we have to weigh the positives and the negatives for both the mental health factor and everything else. And I think that also it educates the kids moving forward to what they're allowed to do and what they're not allowed to do. So I think that it's worthwhile to ask the question for sure. Maybe Dr.
Susie.
Brent Ruskin can answer that in an upcoming press conference. Yeah, we should tweet that to him, because I think that you're not the only parent. I'm not the only parent wondering this, and it would be a good question to have answered.
Yeah, I think so. Judy Ann, I just wanted to quickly ask you, you said something about when you're teaching kindergarten, or do you have anything to add since you know you have been, or you are working in the school system?
Yeah, so with my position, I switch schools every 6 weeks, working with different administrators and different educators. And my last placement was actually in the kindergarten classroom, and they had just, I was there for about 2 or 3 weeks. They had just like really learned my name, and they were using it all the time. And they had said, like, you just got here and we're not going to see you again, and you know, we can't even hug you. And then like the waterworks came, and I'm just sitting there like trying to keep it together. It was so tough. But you know, we had a discussion about why, that it's not because we don't want to hug. It's just that right now we have to think of what's safe and what's best. I actually wanted to pop in too about the bubble. He's kind of like a grandfather. He's like a second father to my dad. He turned 99 in June, and we made the choice as a family. We got together because you can't let that slip away. You can't not have that moment and not have that hug. So we made the decision. Like, he lives with my aunt, and when we came over, her party favors were all fabric masks that she had made for all of us. And so we were just a small group, and we enjoyed some time like closer to him and being able to hug him. But yeah, that was a very conscious choice that we had discussed, and we made sure that, you know, we had our sanitizer, we were washing our hands, and, you know, doing whatever we could. And yeah, he's happy and healthy at 99, and it was definitely a tough conversation to have. Like, can we hug him? Because we want to, of course we want to. It's a huge milestone.
Wow.
And
Cynthia,
I think we
are you
have to
still?
remember too that these guidelines are the guidelines. Oh, sorry, Tracy. I was just going to say
Nope.
that the guidelines or what we're trying to do here are all contingent upon where we live. So we live in a province that has low numbers, and that has shown that there is contact tracing when it comes to where it's coming from and how it's being spread. So all those things are different from, say, a place like wherever you want to choose in the States, where their numbers are super high and almost uncontrollable. All of those factors have to play into how we move forward into whatever that new normal is for Manitoba. So that's why, yeah, I'm going to tweet that question to Dr. Brent Roussin today and to a few journalists and see if they'll ask it, because I think it's a very worthwhile question that we need to have an answer to that we can feel good about. Either way, just knowing what the answer is.
Yeah, and probably he won't have the answer, but you're right, Susie. It's a question that's needed to be asked, definitely, because there's just, you know, it's just the unknown, and it just becomes exhausting to figure out our way and navigate our way. So, Cynthia, I just wanted to get back to you. I know you've been listening to all of this, and it's, I guess, a hard topic too, right?
It's a very hard topic. You know, as a coach that specifically focuses on working with women and folks in the 2S LGBTQIA+ spectrum, you know, I'm constantly developing my own skill sets in order to do it, which means I'm kind of my own test case. So I just finished Johan Hari's Lost Connections. And so when we talk about all of this, it brought up so much in myself that I hear and I see and I completely relate to. Robyn and I must be running the same playbook in terms of, you know, relationships and connections and just trying to reach out and find it. I don't have the pillow that I can comfort, nor do I have anything fluffy. And even my roommate that's here, at least I have a roommate, but you know, we still just elbow bump. Like, there's still no physical connection. And yeah, I mean, it was last year sometime was really, you know, the last time that I had that level of connection. So there is a downside to this wonder and joy of, you know, being a digital nomad and traveling about and not really having a home. You're also not really settled, and you also don't have that close affinity, and the closeness is this is as close as you get to a lot of people. And so learning how to process that, how to deal with that. You know, thankfully, you know, my kids are adults, and my daughter's moving back to Manitoba because her university is going to online courses. So she's coming back to Manitoba to live and continue to do her education remotely. But you know, they're not even obviously anywhere near that I can deal with it, and I'm not crossing paths, and it just doesn't make sense to, you know, to kind of do that. So learning to figure that out on the fly, right? Like learning to kind of adapt. And as I said, I kind of become my own little microcosm of study to, you know, how am I reacting to this? How am I feeling? I'm continuing to do a lot of deep work on myself. It was really one of the big goals for this year, that's coming out. But at the same time, you know, I'm jumping into joint projects. I'm kind of working on my book, and now I got somebody that wants to co-write and do another book. So it's like, okay, I got 2 projects, and I have another coach in Israel saying, oh, I'd like to develop a course with you for the 2S LGBTQIA plus community that we can teach online and take out. So just all of these projects are really great distractions, but it doesn't stop the hard work that we need to keep doing every day. And when you do it alone, there's just a bit of an emptiness that comes with it, and that's really the hard part to overcome. And I'm in a cycle where it's just a really hard moment to go through. This is not the bubbly, cheery me that usually is here. I'm struggling through this moment, trying to kind of see the upside and to do the deep work, and to keep going, because that's what I do, and I know that's what I bring to everyone that I work with and interact. So, yeah.
Well, all I can say is that when one of us ladies are giving you a big hug, everybody on here giving you a big hug. And I mean, even to talk about it as deeply and openly as you have, Cynthia, you're like another Robyn. And we can only learn from that. I only wish that I could be half that honest sometimes, because I'm more like the opposite. I internalize everything, right? But you know that you have a support here.
Thank you.
And always stay in touch.
Always.
Yes. Well, yes. All right. So can somebody tell me what time it is? Because I don't have a clock. Are we?
11:55.
11:55. Okay. So I know that you ladies want to go and enjoy this glorious sunshiny day. Nanette, like, are you going to go to Gimli yet? Are you going to do that trip to Gimli?
With the numbers coming up, it's kind of, I don't know, you know. I live with someone who is has an underlying medical condition, so with the numbers climbing, we kind of made the decision to stay home, and we never did get to Gimli that week, so now we're gonna wait a little longer. We're gonna wait. It's okay.
Yeah, that'll be on your bucket list. That'll be
Absolutely.
on your bucket list for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheryl, how are you? Cheryl, how are you going to spend your August long weekend? Like, it's this the halfway point of summer. She's still with us?
Well, after I finish moving my office, we will go out to our cottage.
Nice.
From a personal point of view, the issues that I'm facing is whether or not my children, who have rented a place in Manitoba from Alberta, are actually going to come or not. You know, not out of abundance of caution for me, at least in part because I'm in higher risk group. But this whole thing about traveling from Western Canada is still up in the air, given the numbers are increasing. So for me, on a personal level, it's one day at a time. I know it's hard. It is hard for me, and it's hard for my family. I still think that we have to think of the cup half full, that we're still lucky here in Manitoba. And, you know, if we have to be, much, stricter for the next little while, that's just the way it is. I know I have good days and bad days like all of you. But I think it will get better. And we do have very good people in public health who are leading us. So it's really day to day, and I'm not sure what I'm doing this weekend.
Well, hey, that's good. It's a good way to live the summer. How about you, Primrose? Are you going to have any go out, explore Manitoba, or stay at home?
Well, it's my husband's birthday this weekend, and he hasn't decided what he wants to do yet. So when he finally decides, I think we were considering going to Beausejour to check out a barbecue place there, and he's not an outdoorsy person, so we'll see what he wants to do. But I know that's a restaurant he wanted to check out.
Well, enjoy good food, okay? That's the main thing. Even if you have to cook it yourself, right?
Yeah. Well, I've been cooking every day, so
I know,
it'll be
I
nice to
know.
work.
We've all becoming very well our own kitchen chefs. So Susie, how are you going to spend your long weekend? Susie?
I'm going to
Oh, we
spend
missed
it in
you.
the sun with
Oh.
sunscreen. But yeah, we're going to be spending it on the beach with the kids, and yeah,
Oh, good.
just chilling out. My son's birthday is next week. My oldest has his birthday next week, so I'm going to be making some more cakes because he's not a cake person. But if you follow me on Instagram, you saw the cakes that I made last week.
Yes. Oh my God,
he liked
that
one, so I might make that one for him again.
Oh gosh, yeah, that lemon. What was
The
it? The
raspberry lemon
raspberry
was a
one?
big winner. I
Oh
must
my
say.
goodness. Yeah, you should open up your own
Yeah, lemon
bakery.
raspberry. It was incredible. Yeah, big.
How
Well,
about you?
as we pivot from the pandemic, that's starting to look more and more attractive, but we'll see. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing. Just spending time with the kids and just, trying not to day drink too much. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, for sure. How about you, Rashana? What are you going to be doing this weekend?
It's my birthday this weekend. So
Oh,
yeah.
happy birthday!
And it usually hits the long weekend, so there's usually not many people around. So I'm going to Friday we'll just do stuff with family, and then see some friends at night, and I think we're going to go to Gimli for the day on Sunday. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Well, happy birthday to you.
Thanks.
You know what? How everybody's going to spend it. Yes, yes. And what are you going to be doing, Judy Ann? Are you going to be doing canoeing and kayaking and with your husband?
This weekend, we're actually just going to be, this is our weekend home. So I've been doing a lot of, I've just been really mindful of where I shop, and I've been doing a lot of supporting local shops. So it's actually a lot of returns and pickups of all the orders that I placed in the past month of jewelry and Hike Manitoba books and all of that. So it's a lot of supporting local this weekend. And then we're going up to the cabin in a couple weeks.
Oh, well, it's so great. Well, and then finally, Robyn, what are you going to be doing this long weekend?
As long as I find somewhere to live, unpacking.
Yeah.
Oh, too exciting. I'm beside myself.
Oh, I know. Oh my goodness. It's going to be a new chapter in your life, Robyn. A new chapter.
Yeah. So good. So good. I can hear Charlotte out there packing the kitchen up. What?
Well, I think some of the ladies here are going to give you some tips on all that you've been talking about. But you know what? I really super appreciate all of you for chatting today and tuning in. And it is what it is. I'll enjoy my little vacay in Clear Lake here in the wilderness. And you've given me a lot to think about, all of you. And I will promise to work on some things. And I also want to ask if all of you would like to come back next week. We are going to talk about underwear. Yes, that's right, underwear. You will meet the lady that has, well, at least she professes, has made the perfect pair of underwear for all body shapes and sizes. You're laughing. Robyn, I need you on that show next week. I've seen the video. So anyways, just saying. Let's get us off this topic of isolation and depression and everything, okay? Let's talk about what really matters, a pair of underwear that you really need to have, all right? Have a great week. Enjoy the August long weekend, and stay safe and healthy. Bye, everybody. Love you.
Have a great weekend, everyone.